She's at a place in her life where peace is a priority and negativity cannot exist. She's no longer matching energy. She's simply removing herself from any situation that doesn't vibrate her soul. So if you start moving funny, she's moving on.
What's up, my Fina love? Sisters Fina D coming to you all from Fina Team News. Whenever you get a video from me with these dreadful black bars, then that means I'm editing on my phone and the software is acting up, okay? I'm editing with the YouTube format, but for some odd reason, it is uploading and showing the black bars. There are times where if I'm busy, I'm on a move, there's certain things going on, I'm not trying to drag a laptop around with me. Even though my laptop, it's nice, I'm still not trying to drag that laptop around with me. However, on my phone, I can edit from anywhere. It's just a phone and all of that. As long as I have my headset and all of that, I'm good, okay? So that's what I'm doing today. I'm using my phone because I'm on the go. All right, I'm skipping right to Sheree and her friend Photon because they had the same conversation that she had with her daughter, at the podcast and all of that. But they were limited because her daughter have a co-host and other people were in the room, even though she's giving Bravo the conversation and situation for millions of people to see. In that moment, that's their real life moment. So she just felt like having that conversation with a friend, would be more private compared to having it in front of strangers, even though, like I said, it's going out to the public. Now, the reason why I don't have empathy, Sheree, I didn't see one tear, okay? I did not see not one drop, nothing. I saw you buried your face in your friend's arms. Then you turned away from the camera and walked away. And then the tissue, whatever you had wiping your face, I did not see not one tear. Now, if this is it, I don't know, Sheree, good luck because Bravo is about to say bye-bye again. But no, this is not it. Okay, the same story, this man, all of this, Sheree, you knew. You knew exactly what this man was about and what you're going through right now. And don't give me the whole, as women, we go through. No. In this moment, Sheree is acting because she knew Tyrone for what and who he is. Okay? She's seen the case. Yes, people can change. But Sheree is a businesswoman. Tyrone is her storyline, apart from her little back and forth with Drew, being a bone collector, and 150 years of She by Sheree that we've been waiting for. What else is going on in her life? Tyrone is her storyline. She and Tyrone, they're in on this. Okay, yes, I saw, the letters, the court papers, and all of that. It is all a storyline. You heard her say, he wanted to come on to share his story and to prove to people that he's changed and all of that. She was trying to give that to him. I didn't see no tears. Let's just say it's real. Okay, let me stop. Let me get out of, doubting Sheree's storyline. Let's just say it's real. I wish Sheree the best. Because right now, everything that girl over there said about Tyrone, that's exactly what's going on. So, Sheree, girl, calling the man, he scammed me like he scammed those people. You knew. And also, how many videos now have I said, the streets have been saying that Tyrone, okay, based on the same way how he was able to scam people for millions of dollars that led him in prison, that, he had some backup allegedly, and Tyrone is the reason why Chateau she can't pay got paid. How many videos have I said that in? Now, I saw, Ms. speak on it saying, questioning how Sheree finished Chateau Sheree and how can she afford this chandelier for 40 grand and this, that. And did Tyrone help her? And I'm like, girl, I've been saying that forever. And that segment went viral. And of course, I already know that that's going to bring up some issues between her and Sheree at the reunion and all of that. But yeah, Candy was like, I think it's around because, Tyrone probably. And I'm like, girl, you late, child. Mama Joyce, the streets saying, I've been saying that for a long time, but that's why Tyrone is around, child. But anyways, let's move on. Milo and the kids. There she goes again, blaming their mom for their behavior. I get it. I understand. You're young. Your auntie's raising you. The same questions that Marlo had when she went through her foster care situation are the same questions. If our mom loves us so much, why can't she just get her act together and be our mom? Why are we staying here at our auntie? What's going on? And then they start acting up. So I'm not completely dismissing that, but they are in your care now. And it's the fact that every time something happens, she blame other people. That's where I'm getting at. Okay? She never ever takes accountability to say, listen, I did this, I was wrong, and I'm going to stand on it. She always want to blame other people. Asking the boys if they need therapy or want to go to therapy because she's going to therapy now. Kudos to you because, you went on this little campaign trail talking about Kenya Moore is sick, she needs therapy when you're the one who's damaged and needs therapy. Okay? It's absolutely nothing against therapy. So if you're really going to therapy, I hope it works for you because you are sick. All right. The boys being bad and one of them saying to their teacher that the teacher doesn't get paid to argue with him. Hot mess. Okay. She claims that she thinks she's failing the kids. I do have more to say about the boys, but Milo is going to meet up with Sheree and Sanya later on in the episode. So when I get to that point, I will bring them back up. But just pay attention to Milo. When the kids were in her care and she didn't have this breakdown that she's having, they were perfect. She never said anything negative about them, never really brought anything, to the platform. And every time she spoke about any issues, they were very vague because showing them in this amazing light is a reflection of her. People will be like, oh my God, Milo, we're so proud of you. You're doing such a great job, good job. And all of the praises will go to Milo. Now, for her to paint this picture that I absolutely was right for kicking them out, regardless of how it's going to look, regardless of how it's going to affect them, regardless of how it's going to make them feel like, my goodness, our mom let us go and now you too, auntie, even though you know what that feel like. She felt like to prove to America that she was right. She had to go to the lowest of the low by exposing those boys, punching holes in the wall, talking about material things and ruining her clothes, and then going to the laundromat. Maybe she meant the dry cleaners because ain't no way you don't have a washer and dryer in that townhouse, okay? But anyways, that's a different story. Yeah, she wanted to paint this disturbing picture and she did not care if it meant going to the lowest of the low, the bottom of the barrel, to expose those boys. I understand saying, you know what, they're not listening, they're not doing this, I get it. But to expose them to that extent because you want to elevate yourself in the show, you had every right to do what you did. It's just like, girl, at this point, it's looking like I'm just using them for a storyline because you're forgetting that they are in school. Okay, people are watching The Real Housewives of Atlanta. You're going too deep, and now it's like their mom is being exposed at a different level, and now you have exposed them to all of these different conversations about things that they're doing in the home. If Milo was holding on to those kids, I mean, she had them back, but if she still had them throughout the entire season, She was going to be very vague about the ups and downs and things they're going through. You know, they're kids. They're not perfect, but I'm hanging in there. But because she wanted to show them in this negative and terrible light and for people to applaud her for doing what she did, it didn't matter at that point if they are her nephews, okay? It's all about Milo, and it doesn't matter who she hurt and how low she goes. I've been putting it on the screen here and there, but I'm going to verbally say it. If there are certain things I'm not saying in this video or going as deep in this video about Milo, that is because I did an almost 30 minutes video on Milo, social media dragging her. And in that video, I said some of the same things I'm saying now, and I do not want to sound repetitive for those of you who already seen that video days ago. This video was the next one I was going to post right after that video, but I've already told all of you whenever I'm editing and I'm doing things and, you know, there's issues with uploads or whatever, I move on to the next video. I do not sit there and, you know, I move on to the next video until YouTube decide to stop tripping. And then when I can, I go ahead and try to re-upload. And that's what I'm doing now. But I have more to say about that. Let's move on to the next scene. QueenYa Morehouse. Of course, here comes flip-flopper Sanya. QueenYa, snatch, stunning, more manner, everything, okay? Everything. She's talking to Sanya. They're having a regular conversation. I was so happy when Candy called and shut that down, okay? Sanya talking about her family being here for her, and even though she and her husband have to sneak around to do, you know, she's just happy to be surrounded by all this love and family, and she just can't imagine, QueenYa, oh, you're so alone, and she was going there, and I was like, oh, Lord, no, we do not, even though that would have been a genuine conversation in a genuine place that QueenYa was coming from. I was just like, oh, Lord, no. We don't need to go down this path and even mention that man's name again. So, Candy Bears, that was like, ooh, saved by the bell or saved by the ringtone. Thank you, Candy, for calling in the FaceTime because, child, no. So, Candy calls and they go and they have, you know, their conversation with Candy and all of that. And of course, before Candy calls, you know, QueenYa is talking about what Marlo did. And Sanya is agreeing with every word. She's holding on to every word that QueenYa said. And I said, watch Sanya goes back and have a moment with Marlo or Sheree or anybody and be a flip-flopper. And she did exactly what I said. We're going to get to their little, you know, get together. But you know what? I'm going to jump around. So since we're talking about it, it's all connected. So I'm jumping around, but let's talk about it, okay? When Sanya left QueenYa house and went to be with Milo and them, she did exactly what she did her very first night of meeting QueenYa Moore. At Milo event, what did she do? Didn't she follow Sheree and went to Milo again to talk about the girls and say, oh, they're talking about your event, they're questioning this, and pretended like she too did not have questions. And then Milo came back to the group with this disgusting energy, especially towards QueenYa. And QueenYa was like, everyone was saying something too, including Sheree. But just because you're a flip-flopper, it still doesn't mean that if you are calling Drew out on her ish, that I'm going to be like, oh, just because you're a flip-flopper, so I don't agree with you. So don't even come over here and be like, but just a few episodes ago, you were saying she was right. Yes, she was right in certain moments because Drew was getting a taste of her own medicine in the way how she treated QueenYa. But in those same videos, I even titled one of them, Sanya Flip-Flopper Ross. So I've been calling her that. I'm going to come back to their whole shopping experience. I have more to say, but I want to do things in order. So let's stay focused. Drew, when they do her nails with her mom and, you know, they're talking about co-parenting and Drew, what makes that whole adoption and adopting moment beautiful is the man coming to you and saying, I want to do it. It's coming from a genuine place of love, and that's what he wants to do. Not because you as the mother and the woman is forcing his hand and forcing him to do it. He's doing it because he wants to. You are my wife. I love our family. I've raised your son. That's our son. That's my child. And I want to adopt him. And it's like, oh, it's so sweet. It's not the other way around where You want to force his hand. The man is saying, no, I'm not. Yes, I'm a father figure to him, but this boy still have his father in his life. I'm not trying to overstep. I'm his bonus dad. I'm always going to be. But he has a father figure. And so let the man do it because he wants to and not because you're pressuring him. As far as her sister coming on the phone and talking about spirits and a woman, listen, I don't care what you believe in, but, she was on point. It's a lot of evil spirits and just things going on. But it's the Real Housewives of Atlanta. You're going to be around women and the evil spirits, and a monster and a demon like Milo. I'm going to get back to her. But so yeah, it's on point because that Photon person, yes, I'm from West Africa, Liberia, power to African sister, but Chad girl, no, Anyways, let's continue because if anybody else was doing background checks on people and admitting it and all of that, I would call them crazy. So, and I'm glad that, Candy is okay. Her house was safe and all of that. Yeah, Ralph writing a teller book. And why are you writing a teller book on parenting and all of that when our lives are still shaky? You didn't adapt my son. Relationship with his dad is all messed up. Like, everything is not resolved. So how can you write a book trying to say, I'm going to teach you how I successfully did something when in her eyes, you didn't successfully do it? That's what Drew is saying. But girl, if your husband feel like he's successful, child, let that man live. Back to Milo and Sheree and Sanya furniture shopping. And Sheree saying her living room alone was 40 grand. Girl. So Milo. Supposedly, QueenYa is the one obsessed, but every breath, every chance, every second, it's QueenYa. Milo entire scene, QueenYa. My goodness, just a hot mess. So like I said, Sanya over there agreeing with Milo and whatever. This is where I have to jump in and remind you all that if you click the very first link in the description below, for those of you who missed it, click that link and fill in the blanks of everything Milo. Social media dragged her so badly that I had to dedicate an entire video to reading social media reactions and giving my commentary on what she did. So I will not be covering that segment in my review. That's what that video was about. Before I move on, I'm going to quickly add this to the boys' story because I do not think I said it in the last video I did on Milo. Of course, they're going to come back to Milo with changed behavior, not only because they want to do better, but because they are currently in survivor mode. Our mom is not doing well, okay? She's locked up. Our other auntie has 4 toddlers and can't keep us forever. This is our only option, or exactly, foster care. That's not what we want. This generational curse have to be broken. So we have to go above and beyond and make sure we don't lose shelter. But they will never forget that when things got rough, their auntie gave up on them. In as much as, like I said in the last video, I would rather someone ask for help than snap and do something bad. So if Marlo really got to a breaking point, I'm glad she asked her sister for help. And hopefully as they grow up, they will understand why their auntie needed help. Because right now, it's going to be, you gave up on us when we needed you the most. When we were supposed to come together as a family and work through anything and survive that, you gave up on us. What's going to happen the next time you have a moment? Are you going to give us up too? So they have all of those unanswered questions. And I'm sure if she was willing to go this low to expose the boys, to prove that, hey, give me a break, this is why I did it. Of course, she's going to showcase, the help that they're getting. And she's going to come on here and, their behavior changed and, everything is so great and the boys are doing. She's going to come on here and make everything look so amazing now that they're back to prove my decision was right. because that's who Milo is. But never forget how low she went, showing a hole in the wall and exposing her nephews in order to elevate her to say, oh, she did the right thing. And like I said in the last video, I'm not saying lie for your nephews and continue to pretend like everything was great. But when you wanted us to believe that, you are giving these vague responses. Ups and downs, but they're great. But when you wanted to prove that this is the reason why I gave up and I'm not no deadbeat and I'm not my mother or all of the other foster care parents that, did not keep me for a long time and I had to go through all of these different foster care homes, I'm going to show the worst part of them on national television so that people can give me, the adult who should have the strength to deal with the public, they could give me a break. But no, I'm not going to consider my young nephews who are still in school, who people are going to walk up to and be like, are you okay? I saw you punch a hole in the wall. How are you doing? No, I don't care about what social media and what people in the schools are going to say to them. I'm protecting me. How selfish. Sheree party was cute. The decor was cute, stripping off negativity and coming nude and I'm a new woman and I'm not calling Tyrone. QueenYa, snatch and stunning as always. Didn't even have to try hard. Put on her nice silk dress, threw her wig on. Stunning. Lisa Wu, nice to see Lisa Wu. Everything looks good. Candy, everyone is there. Drew showed up, matching Sheree chat. You and Drew are not close. So ain't nobody called to say, oh yeah, Sheree have the same piece. And so you wear the same thing. But however, it's making the we once shared an assistant story believable because it's possible that if he was also a personal shopper and shopping for Drew, it's possible that what he felt was in at the moment and looked beautiful on Drew, he was like, this will look beautiful on Sheree. I'm just joking. It's a simple coincidence. But let's move on. This whole Kenya Moore needed alcohol or liquid courage to have a moment like this, stop it, okay? For those of us who's been watching Kenya Moore for years, alcohol or not, Kenya Moore has always been this person, the life of the party, laughing, having a great time, okay? Just making jokes randomly. For example, I don't know if you all remember the scene she was doing with the original flip-floppers and the Billy. I'm just kidding, okay? She was talking about serving papers, either her serving Mark people papers or him trying to serve her papers. And out of nowhere, she just broke out into break dancing. You got served. The movie and started dancing just randomly. There was no alcohol involved. She was just having fun. Kenya is this fun, bubbly person. We've seen it over and over again. However, whenever she will have those amazing and hilarious moments, Bravo made sure to overshadow that with drama. Now you have one person coming after Kenya that sometimes she might engage and sometimes she pays that person dust. You have other people that Kenya should still watch out for and gave the side eye, but Kenya and Candy are able to, get over their situations. And the other people are making behind the scenes remarks. However, in previous seasons, she had all of those people who are no longer there coming for her. So Bravo trying to fit all of that hate in one episode and everyone against Kenya Moore. What time did they have to include Kenya hilarious moments? We cut little glimpses of it here and there, but they cut those scenes out because showing everyone coming for one person was more important to them because of this Kenya Moore is our villain compared to showing the other fun sides of Kenya. Now that you only have one person going above and beyond to come for Kenya and it's not working because those other people who continue to come for her have all been exposed and it's no longer let us jump on this Kenya Moore hate bandwagon anymore. It's not working for Milo, but when you only have one person doing it, now you have all of these empty spaces to really show the fullness of Kenya. Like Eva said, I'm not going to play the tape, you've heard it. She said people have layers and people do not get to see the fullness of Kenya. They get to see this one layer of Kenya and then take that and run with it and say that's who she is. But now we're getting to see the fullness of Kenya. I read tweets, amazing comments, everything in that Milo video. I just didn't read social media dragging Milo. I also read all of the positive things they had to say about QueenYa as well. So if you want to hear more about QueenYa, more amazing moment, hilarious moment in that episode, paying Milo dust and all of that, go to that video and hear what I had to say. Now let's talk about Photon. What I don't like about the whole Photon situation is this lady saying, I didn't do anything and Drew just attacked me. Really, lady? Are you thinking that we're that dumb? We didn't see the episode? That woman didn't just attack you. Why are you lying? You sat there and insinuated that her husband is gay. And then you said, oh, I got it from your assistant. Okay, and that's supposed to make her feel better? She was defending her marriage, her man, and her honor. So you did do something for her to respond. So this whole, let me play innocent, she just attacked me. Girl, bye. You came for her marriage to defend your friend, and she stood up against you. And you went and did a background check. You know, yes, production been shitty to everybody, especially Drew, but they put her assistant picture on the screen. You know, I just wish there was a live, you know, even though Drew lies a lot, but I just wish there was an Instagram live or something at that point to just see her face. This is the assistant. Now what? She's on the screen. I get it. She made an impact, but girl, don't come here with that BS. She just randomly attacked me. I didn't do nothing. Sit down. QueenYa might not react right away when people do things to her, but trust and believe she will remember what you did. She will react eventually. Sometimes you might miss it, and sometimes it might be a big deal that you can't miss it, but trust and believe she will respond. Drew came up to QueenYa asking for a clean slate. Let's be friends. Let's start over. QueenYa said, cool, okay. QueenYa stepped up and defended Drew, you know, with her husband and all of that. She saw how that went. Girl, I'm not here to be fighting your battles. I'm not the other girl. I'm still going to give you the side eye, you know, as I gave you a chance, but we shall see. So at Sanya dinner, Sanya and her mom, they're coming for Drew. And no one is jumping in to defend Drew. Girl, fight your own battles. We fight our own battles. She saw QueenYa at the corner of her eye laughing over there with Candy. So now let me get upset and take the heat off of me and say, oh yeah, QueenYa, what about the conversation you had with me about Candy? And put you in a hot seat. So that's exactly what QueenYa did at Sheree's house. You did not respect me enough to pull me aside and say, hey, have you talked to Candy about the concerns you had about, you know, the vibrating underwear, or should we just let it go? QueenYa would have told you, I will talk to Candy when I'm ready. No, you took it upon yourself to bring it up. QueenYa and Candy resolved their issues, and you think I'm going to respect you and pull you aside and say, oh, watch out for that girl. She just sat at the table. She did background check on you so you can go back and say, QueenYa said no. Your respect is over, Drew. I'm going to say in front of everybody, the same way how you thought it was okay to just do the whole Candy thing. I want to quickly make an example about that by using this. Candy and Milo talked. Candy said, don't speak on it. The conversation with Milo, she felt that's when everything happened because Marlo was more emotional and she was just like, I kicked the boys out, and it was raw emotions compared to the well put together and rehearsed. And I'm going to say they did this. I'm going to say they put a hole in the wall. I'm going to say they, you know, messed up my clothes. That was the well thought out part to make her look good and to give her an excuse for why she put them out compared to the real conversation she had with Candy. But my point is, when Candy came outside with Marlo, she just didn't say at the table in front of everybody, Marlo told me this, and just exposed Marlo. No, she was able to say, Marlo and I talked and we moved forward without just putting Marlo business out there. Marlo would not have given Candy the same courtesy. So that's the way how you do it. There's a way to have certain conversations without doing that. But I'm just saying, once you start playing games, the gloves are off. And ain't no more, let me pull you aside privileges. Absolutely not. Go back to Marlo once again blaming her childhood for the reason why she kicked the boys out. Girl, go get counseling for this childhood, because you're going to keep making mistakes and doing dumb-ish and blaming your childhood for the rest of your life. Back to the party. So Drew comes in. Okay. I think I talked about this in my last review, but if I skip it, my apologies. Sanya, I can't stand the same thing I just said about Sheree friend Photon. I can't stand when people do this. You were being shady to Ralph and Drew. You don't walk up to someone, ask for their advice, and then throw shade talking about you act like you're busy. And then try to pretend like, oh, that's not what I meant. Girl, that's what you meant. That's one of the reasons why I will forever rock with and support QueenYa more. She stands on what she did and said. Yes, I did it. Now what? Or, yes, I did it. And if it hurt your feelings, I apologize. That's the difference with QueenYa. We might not get along, but I could see how that made you feel. I apologize. Candy talking about Ralph have all this money, but we can't see where he's getting this money from. He's like Tommy or Martin got all of these jobs, but we never saw where he worked. You know the story. Whatever. And then recently on Speak on It, repeating what I've been saying, that the streets been talking, that Tyrone is the reason why Chateau she can't pay was paid for, allegedly. You know, so Sheree bragging about Tyrone, and that's the reason why she's holding on to him. But she can't come out and say that because you were in prison and you owe these people all of this money and you did your time. Where did you get that money from to help Sheree? She cannot say that. However, Candy girl, be careful, because they're going to be like, wait a minute, you know what she said? That makes sense. She by Sheree doesn't even have a website for us to go to yet. You know, Sheree doesn't own a fitness company, or what is she, a personal trainer or something? I really don't care, but what does she do when she's not on the Real Housewives of Atlanta for her to be able to afford a $40,000 chandelier? So Candy is pocket watching, so I'm sure that's going to come up at the reunion. So, anyways. Oh, what Kitty said, Danielle is the alias that Ralph used when he was in Tampa. When he was down in Tampa. And when Kitty said, what you said about Milo, Sasquatch? With a lace front. Oh, Chad, that Kitty more is funny. No, Lisa Wu little speech about whatever your heart's desire and all of that. Cool. You know, Drew was keeping it real. Lisa Wu little speech was cute, but Drew was like, look, y'all be tripping, okay? First of all, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I love everybody. That's just not the truth. So I know y'all want me to be positive right now. She just couldn't get out of her own way to be positive and just say. And then, of course, I talked about Lisa coming at Sanya, you know, in the other video next. But when QueenYa also said, the moment is leaving, the moment is back, hot mess, she had me rolling. But go to that other video to watch it. I'm wishing all of you well and take care. And here my final loves. Thank you all for your love and support. If you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and leave this video a thumbs up. Also turn on notifications so when I do post, you're aware that I posted. And I will see you all in the comment section. Remember to always have the God bless attitude, which is being positive at all times and seeing the good in every situation. Have a great day, guys. God bless.